All right, man, peace. So, as we all know by now, the NBA decided to alter its process of selecting the rosters for the NBA All Star game. They decided that they were going to create a system where the captains from each conference were going to pick their teams. And they would be able to pick from a pool of players who were voted into the All Star game by the fans or by the coaches, and they could pick from whichever conference they wanted. Today is the day where LeBron James and Steph Curry have picked their rosters. So let's see how that came about. Of course, they're going to talk about it, and I'm going to chime in.
Now, there are 24 All-Stars who are going to be wearing these jerseys. And here's the way LeBron James has selected his team. Remember, this year we got captains choosing teams. We don't have East against West.
Yo, LeBron got a squad, man. LeBron got the squad. He got the best big men, and he has some of the greatest guards in the league. LeBron has a squad. He should win this game by at least 20. I mean, he arguably has. I mean, you would throw Steph into, of course, the top 5 players in the NBA. But if you were to look at the other top members of the NBA, outside of Kawhi, who of course is hurt, KD, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, LeBron has them all. Kyrie is a top 10 player. DeMarcus Cousins is arguably a top 10 player. LeBron got a squad, man. And he has size. He has Aldridge. He got Porzingis. Good news is that Porzingis will probably only play about 10 minutes because we know his ass gets tired.
Against West. LeBron James' team. The starters, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, DeMarcus Cousins, Kyrie Irving joining LeBron. His reserves, got Bradley Beal and John Wall on.
Also, please remember that the Cleveland Cavaliers are looking for a big man. This may be LeBron's opportunity to get to know DeMarcus and Anthony Davis, see what their brains are like. Also give him a chance to see if he can pick Kyrie's brain and perform a little psychological manipulation on Kyrie. If I were Kyrie, bruh, if LeBron gives you a cup with water in it, do not drink that shit. If he gives you a bottle of Gatorade, make sure that bottle is unopened. Because I wouldn't put anything past that motherfucker. He might try to poison you.
On either side, LaMarcus Aldridge, Kevin Love, Russell Westbrook, Victor Oladipo, and Kristaps Porzingis. Meantime, Steph Curry, Team Stephen, James Harden, DeMar DeRozan, the Greek Freak, Joel Embiid joining Curry as the starters, and his reserves, a couple of his teammates from Golden State, Klay Thompson and Draymond Green, and also Damian Lillard, Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, Karl Anthony Towns, and Al Horford. Now, I know the question.
Steph got a nice little squad too, but LeBron got the squid out. Goodness sakes. If I was Steph, I would put Damian Lillard on Russ and say, have at it.
The question you're all asking. This draft was held earlier this afternoon.
In secrecy.
And how did it all play out? Well, I had a chance to talk to the two captains about how this NBA first went. All right, Captain LeBron and Captain Steph, thank you for doing this. We certainly appreciate it. And I can only imagine that this had to take you back a little bit to the playground years and years ago, didn't it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
How about it, Steph?
Sure, it was cool. It's just the names that we were picking. It kind of caught me off guard at first.
Yeah, exactly. And most of the time when you're on the playground, it went quickly. I want him, I got him, you got him, here, let's play. How much more thought was required here, and did you have a plan going in, LeBron?
No, I mean, listen, I had a plan, but you know, when you're doing a draft or you're picking somebody, you know, you already know in your mind that the other captain is going to take somebody that you want. So now your plan gets messed up. So you.
And of course, we all know that you wanted to pick Kyrie, LeBron. The two top guys on your board were KD and Kyrie. I promise you, those were his first two picks. KD and Kyrie, not only because they were the two most talented players available, but also because those are the two players who LeBron wants to get into their head. And if he can implement some type of psychological manipulation, promote some type of mental disinformation on them or within them.
Messed up, so you got to kind of rebound after that. But you know, it was definitely fun. It took me back, like you said, Ernie.
How about you, Steph?
Well, yeah, I mean, I had the second pick at the beginning, so it was all kind of seeing where Bron wanted to go with the first pick, and then
You know where he wanted to go, brother. You know he was going to take KD.
and then watching the kind of snowball from there. So
I'm just trying to figure out how the hell LeBron get KD and Anthony Davis. That tells me that what Steph did most likely his first two picks is he probably picked Klay Thompson and Draymond, his first two picks. If I be a betting man, that's what he did. Because there's no way that LeBron could have gotten Anthony Davis and Kevin Durant. Because you would think if LeBron picked first, even if he takes KD, if you're Steph, the next pick is going to be Anthony Davis. Unless Steph came in there saying the All-Star game is important, but what's even more important is maintaining continuity. So I have to make sure that I get my two Golden State guys.
So I had a game plan. I kind of knew what my order was, trying to get a little bit of every position. But when you get about to like the middle part of the reserves, that's where it was a little tricky. You had to put some thought into it to try to fill out the team and see what kind of look you wanted for your team.
How much advice were you both getting, either wanted or unwanted, leading into the draft?
Man, listen, I've been hearing from my teammates so much the last few days about who you going to take first.
Nigga, stop lying. You've been hearing from your teammates the last few days about how much they hate Kevin Love. All right? That's what you've been hearing about. Ain't nobody been asking you about no damn All-Star game.
Take first. You know, if he takes this guy, who you going to take? Are you going to take the guy from your conference or from the Western Conference? So, you know, my teammates been in my ear the last few days, man, and I just try to, listen, I don't know. I don't know who I'm going to take. You know, I'll be ready to go once the draft gets started, though.
LeBron and Steph probably had to flip a coin and see who's going to be forced to take Kevin Love. LeBron like, fuck it. I'll play with one less man on my roster. You take that boy. I don't want his ass. Steph said, no, we're good. You can have Kevin Love. We don't want him to implode our locker room.
Yeah, Steph, you said you might have to do some GMing. Was there any point where you tried to swing a trade with LeBron and sold him on something?
I was consulted with my team beforehand to see if there's a package that we could kind of come up with that would entice Bron to maybe help me move up a little bit at the top. But
yeah, because you wanted KD. You knew that if you got KD, you'd be able to get all three of your teammates. That was going to be the only question because you knew that Bron was not going to take Klay Thompson or Draymond Green with his first or his second pick. So it's very, very clear to me that LeBron picked first, and LeBron most likely picked KD, and then Steph most likely picked Klay Thompson. Then LeBron came next, and he probably picked Anthony Davis. And then Steph took Draymond Green. And then Bron most likely took Kyrie. And then Steph went on and made his real picks after that. Most likely either James Harden or somebody like that.
At the top, but that's part of the game. You get that the timer in your head, like you know, days leading up to the draft, the time's ticking. But it was funny. Our GM Bob Myers called me this morning, asking me what my algorithm was for ranking players and what kind of look I had. And he's like, hey, this GM job isn't that easy. So how?
Yeah, and then you told him it's easy for me. I'm going to pick my teammates, and then after that, I'm just going to pick whoever's left. Because that's what you did, brother. You're too smart to actually make real picks. Not on a team that's trying to win a third championship in 4 years. You're not trying to fracture the locker room when your teammates look at the roster and they see that LeBron has KD and he has Klay Thompson or he has Draymond. Because now that Steph has two of his teammates, he can always tell them, look, LeBron picked first and he took KD. What you want me to do?
So have fun with it.
So paint the picture for the fans at home. So Steph, you were at home during this on the phone, right?
Yes.
And
please, Steph was at home, but he probably didn't make the picks. Now that I think of it, that motherfucker might have been sitting in a damn lounge chair in a sunken place with Aisha with a teacup, while tinkling the damn teaspoon in the cup while she made the picks on the phone. His ass was somewhere floating off into space in his inner mind.
Yes.
And LeBron, you're at the practice facility?
Yeah, I'm at the practice facility, yeah.
In a room by yourself, or is anybody surrounding you and trying to listen in? Or is it
No,
total?
I had one of my guys with me. You know, and the difference, the best job for us is, unlike Bob Myers and unlike Kobe, you know, our guy in our front office, we get
Yeah, the guy in your front office that all you guys on Cleveland hate so damn much. Right, the guy that you all trying to blame for trading Kyrie. LeBron definitely need to go to Hollywood because he's a hell of an actor. I give him that. That might be a damn fake beard he got on his face. Who knows?
We get to pick from, a lot of all-stars. We don't have to figure out guys of potential or guys that coming out of college or guys that's coming from overseas. We get to go after, 22 all-stars when we do our draft. So, it's definitely a lot easier for us.
All right, so tell me, LeBron, you had the first pick. Who'd you take?
I can't tell you that.
Oh,
man.
come on. I mean,
Shrewd, LeBron, very shrewd. Good for you. But I already know who you picked first, brother. You picked KD. That's obvious, because if you didn't pick KD, Steph would have picked him first.
come on. I mean, but
He tried to
I
get
can't
you.
tell you that, man.
no, but LeBron.
I can't tell you that,
but
man. I
didn't
might
you-
have to kill you if I tell you that.
I'll take that. And some people would probably appreciate it. But anyway, you had said, hey, look, we're all grown men. There are no hurt feelings, that kind of thing.
Well, he could say that. LeBron can say that, but he knows at this point in his career, he doesn't give a shit who don't really like him, at least in regards to NBA circles. LeBron's in the stratosphere right now where if a teammate's going to get upset with him, they're just going to get upset. And he already sees the outlook on this season. They're most likely not going to win anything anyway. And the only other all-star teammate that he had was Kevin Love, and he doesn't give a fuck what Kevin Love thinks. Steph is in a whole nother zone. Steph, I guarantee you, I promise you, Steph's first two picks were Klay Thompson and Draymond Green.
Kind of thing, and so you're not going to tell me you picked Kevin Durant first? Because I know he's on your team.
No, I ain't telling you.
Okay.
I ain't telling you.
Okay, who'd you take?
You know Kevin
Who'd
Durant
you
is on
take
my
second?
team.
Who'd you take second then, LeBron?
Look, I'm gonna tell you this, Ernie.
I'll tell you, Ernie. His second pick was Anthony Davis. Had to be. LeBron picked KD, and then when he saw Steph was going to go for the home team, he said, okay, so I'll take AD. I got KD and AD.
Tell you this, Ernie. This thing should have been televised. And when me and Steph was doing the draft, we started laughing very hard at one point. I'm not even going to tell you what part it was, but we started laughing very hard at one point. It definitely should have been televised, that's for sure.
Yeah, y'all probably started laughing when y'all got down to the last two picks, and it was Kevin Love and Kyle Lowry. And y'all was both like, you know what? I think we both good from here. Let them two niggas. They can pour the water. They can pass out the Gatorade.
That's for sure.
Well, we're pretending it was televised now, so everybody would know your first pick. And hey, Steph, here's the deal, Steph. I'm just going to assume, Steph, since Kevin Durant is not on your team, he was not available for you.
I guess that's part of the drama, because you never know.
Thank you, Ernie. Ding. You finally figured it out.
Because you never know if he went, somewhere else, and I had Katie on the board. I might have to go back to my locker room and.
Listen, that's all. It's all part of the drama. You don't know.
Hey, look, I'm smart enough to know that Katie ain't going to sit on that board for very long, y'all. Okay, all right. So Steph, are you also in the cone of silence on who your first pick was, or can I say you probably went James Harden?
No, he ain't go James Harden. His first pick was Klay Thompson. First pick was Klay Thompson, Ernie. All you have to do is use deductive reasoning. The only way that LeBron could have gotten KD and AD is if Steph's first two picks were Golden State Warriors. And then his third pick was most likely James Harden.
It's Harden.
I can't divulge that information, but I will say, like Bron said, I will say we did have a good time, and as this format starts to plan out for next year, hopefully we're both the captains again, and we can broadcast it to the world in real time. But it was cool to kind of just get it behind closed doors, just me and Brian talking, just going through these names. It was crazy.
Was there a lot of give and take back and forth between y'all in the course of that?
No, it wasn't much give and take. We had, like I said, we had a couple moments where, I picked a guy and Steph, was like, oh, I could hear it in his voice. It was a time where Steph picked somebody and he kind of messed up my draft board. He messed my draft board up, and I was like, ah. So, but at the end of the day, man, like I said, the fans, we didn't think this out all the way through. The fans should have been a part of this for sure. Everybody who loved the game, but
Bron probably wanted Embiid. That's probably who he wanted. He probably wanted Embiid, but Steph got Embiid. Steph probably took Embiid, and then Bron was like, damn, I got to take Aldridge now. But I guarantee you, Bron's first pick was KD. Steph picked Clay. Bron picked AD. Steph picked Draymond. And then Bron either picked Kyrie or Russell Westbrook. Well, probably Kyrie. And then Steph picked Harden. And then Bron picked whoever was left between Westbrook and Kyrie. Most likely Westbrook was Bron's fourth pick.
The game, but it's the first year, and I think it's going to be pretty cool going into the future.
Okay. Look, I'm looking at your team, LeBron. Okay, and a lot of people have weighed in the days leading up to the draft. Even said a lot of your teammates are talking, but there was some thought that there's no way Kyrie Irving will wind up on LeBron's team. Oh,
I knew he was going to wind up on Bron's team. That has LeBron written all over it. LeBron loved that drama. I knew he was going to pick Kyrie. I guarantee you, Kyrie was either his third or his fourth pick. After he took care of KD and AD, Kyrie was definitely on LeBron's board.
Or but Kyrie Irving is on your team, and Kevin Love is on your team. What is it about your team that you like the most, and how did the Kyrie situation present itself for you?
The Kyrie situation presented itself because LeBron won't catch that fade. That's what it is. As soon as Kyrie walk in the locker room, LeBron gonna say, "Okay, you wanted to have to operate on your knee, huh, little nigga? Okay, I got a baseball bat to help you out with that. Whap."
For you.
I mean, I just try to pick the best available players, and to be able to team up back with Kyrie, it's always special, and along with Kevin Love, just for us to have another weekend and bring back some of the memories that we had when we were all together. So.
Yeah, back when Kyrie was scoring in the fourth quarter, saving your ass.
So, Kyrie was available on the draft board. He's one of the best point guards that we have in our league. So, it was an easy choice for me.
Yeah, and plus, if you didn't take him, how the hell you going to put that arsenic in his water?
I was talking to Kenny Smith before you and I and Steph all sat down. He said the most important thing, if he were a captain, is getting his teammates on that team. So you got Kevin Love on your team.
Did you see Steph shake his head when Ernie said that? Those were Steph's first two picks, Clay and Dre.
Clay,
yeah.
Steph, you've got Clay and you've got Draymond. That's where I thought maybe there would be some kind of a package deal where Steph, you would say, "Hey, look, LeBron, I got the first pick in the reserves. If you give me the first two picks, you can have the next three." Was there any kind of discussion like that?
Well, see, the difference between
that came up in my discussions.
And the difference between me and Steph, listen, he got 3 All-Stars in the game. I only got 1. So, he got a lot more choices than I got.
So it was important, LeBron, for you to get Kevin Love on your team.
Yeah, important to have my teammate alongside with me.
Stop lying. You had to pick that dude because he was the second to last guy left, and you didn't want Kyle Lowry. It's like, oh, fuck it. I'd take Kevin Haight.
It's a great weekend. We get to share another All-Star moment.
All right. So as we look at, even though you're not going to tell me who you picked first, look at your team, LeBron. You and Boogie, AD, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving.
He got the squad out, man. Bron got the squad. He should win that game by 20 at least.
You feel good about that starting 5 with you?
Yeah, I do. I got a lot of chemistry with my 4 and 5. With AD and Boogie.
Yeah.
Me and Kyrie got some history and some chemistry as well. And I think Kevin Durant can fit in any system in the world.
Bron about ready to admit that KD is better than him. All right. If you pay very close attention, he's almost ready to admit it.
His ability to do what he do. So, I'm looking. It's gonna be good. I got a 7-foot guy playing a 2-guard in Kevin Durant. So we got a chance. We got a real good chance.
Steph, you got Giannis on your team. You got DeMar DeRozan. You got a first timer and another first timer in Joel Embiid, and you've got James Harden. I know that it was fairly important to you to have the Greek Freak so that he wouldn't dunk on you as he did last year in the All-Star game.
Let me say this before Steph speaks. Steph Curry's team is going to have to try to run them out the gym. That's got to be the game plan. run him out the gym, and try to hit him from three, and hope that Bron's team starts to panic, and maybe you have Russell Westbrook taking too many shots because he's not a starter. So you got to hope maybe he comes in off the bench and he just starts fucking everything up. If I was Steph, I would have Lillard come in whenever Westbrook comes in, and tell Lillard, you go ahead, you try to get in his head. You know that Westbrook loses his cool very easily. He already feels like y'all are going to have a little beef coming into this game. I'm putting you in when he comes in. And you go ahead and you deal with that. And we're going to try to run these guys out the gym. We already know that Bron gets tired in the fourth quarter. We know that Cousins doesn't have much tact. Let's see what we can do with this. We got to run him out the gym.
Star game.
Yeah, that was first and foremost. That kind of went into my game plan going into the draft. But nah, I got a good history with DeMar and James, playing on Team USA World Championship teams with them. And Joel is obviously a future. He could be a future All-Star for plenty more years, and this is his first go around. So maybe one day that weekend he'll take over my Twitter account and say some jokes for me or something.
Look, let's look big picture on this. With the league doing this for the first time, fellas, what is it going to mean for the game itself that fans watch on All-Star Sunday night?
I think the response that I've got so far, Ernie, is that a lot of my teammates and a lot of people that I know is like, oh, we're looking forward to this weekend.
I'm looking forward to the game too. Hopefully, your team plays better defense in the All-Star game than the Cleveland Cavaliers been playing. Because your team been playing defense like it's the All-Star game for the entire season.
Weekend, we actually going to watch the game this weekend. With the All-Star, with the way we're doing the draft and things of that nature. So that lets me know that we're headed in the right direction. And that was up to us 24 guys, starting with myself and Steph and the rest of the starters, to go out and set the tone to get this game back where it should be from a competitive nature.
Go ahead, Steph.
And thanks to Michael Jordan and Chris Paul for understanding how abysmal the games have been, I would say, the last 3 years, and getting this shit back on track. Because the All-Star game the last 3 years has looked more like a walkthrough than an actual game. You look at some of the All-Star games from the late 80s into the 90s, those games were played almost at a playoff level of intensity by the fourth quarter. These last 3 All-Star games have just been a bunch of guys trying to not get hurt.
Yeah, I mean, kind of what Bron said, and just the look on the floor. You've had perennial All-Stars. Bron's been there 14 straight years, which is crazy, and he's played with Eastern Conference guys his whole career, and to kind of just switch it up a little bit, just for those matchups and those storylines that can kind of take a new life, a new shape, with the captain's pick. So I think it'll breathe some new life into the game. It being in LA as well is obviously a buzz in that city. So I think everything's gonna lead to a great All-Star weekend and a great Sunday with the game.
For both of you, has this whetted your appetite to possibly become front office types, general managers, when the playing days are through?
When the playing days are through? LeBron been running the front office since 2014. What are you talking about, man? That's why Steph got a smirk on his face. Bron is looking at Ernie like, are you serious? Shit, I'm about to execute a trade for Kevin Love and Isaiah Thomas for Boogie Cousins right when we come from the All-Star break, man. Oh, but right before the All-Star break, I should say. Whenever the trade deadline is.
You're through?
It was pretty fun, man. I'll tell you one thing. There's no way we can think that being a GM is like what we did today. You won't have an opportunity to pick over 22 All-Stars, I'll tell you that.
Well, hopefully
it'll be a short-lived career for sure.
Hopefully, you guys both have pull and input in with the NBA. So hopefully, what you've said about televising this in the future will come to pass. So spread the word and tell them we need to do this next year, will you?
No, absolutely. We all agree to that.
All right. Last thing for you, LeBron. Who'd you take first?
Hey, listen, I took Team LeBron. We went first, baby. The first inaugural NBA All-Star Draft. We went first.
Y'all, thank you very much for the time. We're looking forward to All-Star Sunday, and thanks for taking the time.
I appreciate it, Ernie. Appreciate everybody in the studio.
You got it, man. Talk to you.
I don't know why they're trying to act like what the NBA is doing with this picking the rosters is so revolutionary. The NFL did this a few years ago, and the NHL has been doing it. But even though they're behind the curve, it is a good move because they need to add some juice, some verve to this game. But anyway, peace.